Wattz Effect Podcast. Today we are sitting down with somebody who is not just coaching athletes, but building stronger women and community. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jessica Carter.
Thank y'all.
Welcome. How you doing, Miss Carter?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Jess. I've known you for some years. I'm just want to let you know I'm super proud of you.
Thank you.
You're doing amazing things in the community, and that's what we're going to talk about today here on the Wattz Effect.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, Jess, we always like to start off the episode asking our guests where they were born and raised. So, where were you born and raised?
Fluvanna. Yeah, I was born and raised in Troy, Virginia, right here in Troy.
All right. Cool. Now, we will get into her sports. I want to get into that. Now, I'm not sure. I just want to make sure I'm getting this off Google. But I've seen that her sports currently is serving approximately 400 to 500 girls. Is that true?
Yeah, so since the launch of 2020, we serve over 2,000 girls.
Jeez.
Yeah, and that comes with like our sports days now our leagues and workshops. So over 2,000 girls.
Yeah, we definitely gonna get into all that. Definitely gonna get into all that. But before people knew the name Jessica Carter, I want to get into the full story of who you are behind her sports.
That's got deep. You gotta be a little deep. You gotta ask me some questions about it.
So when did basketball become more than something you just played?
That's a hard question because I started playing when I was young here on the gravel court. That's back when we played outside, dirt, gravel, when you had to be outside.
Bicycle runs.
Yeah, playing against boys. All of our family members played. So I think when I realized that it was something special was when I ended up moving to Charlottesville and playing under Coach Brooks when we went to the Boys and Girls Club. So it was a different level of competition. When you leave the country, you're playing with your family, and then you go into the city, and you go into the Boys and Girls Club, where it's a mix of talent at that age. So that's when I knew.
What did sports save you from?
So more of the mental health. Now I know. Back in the day, I didn't know, but it was some stuff that was going on at home. Remember, my mom didn't have a good relationship back in the day due to some of her choices, but just saving for me not being in a household and leaving it all on the court, so that was my safe haven.
Nice. What's one thing that the classroom couldn't teach you that sports taught you?
Teamwork, being a part of the team, because in the classroom you're individualized, you focus on yourself, but teamwork and more of how to be resilient. I just really think because you really know how to lose, but you also know how to win, but you win with, character, you win with integrity, but when you lose, it's something different. Yeah. It's just like when you get a bad grade, you get upset, but being on a team, when you lose, is like, how could I make my team better? So you just start thinking about the whole as a team. So,
are you a multi-sport athlete?
You want to know what? I played baseball. My first sport was baseball.
Really?
I played baseball. I love baseball. My dad used to keep me outside when I was younger. And so he had I was a pitcher.
Oh.
So I pitched. Yeah, I was a left-hand pitcher, and I used to, the goal was every strike I get 25 cents. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I used to leave the game with $5, but baseball was my first love. And then when I realized that girls couldn't play baseball, I stuck with basketball. Wow. Yeah.
You think sports is like a therapy?
Yeah, so it's therapy, even coaching, even just being back on, just the smell of the court is like everything that I'm doing in the community. If I'm on that court coaching or doing some drills, that's all I'm worried about. So. Was
there a coach or a teacher or a family member or a teammate who saw something in you before you fully saw it in yourself?
I think it was Coach Brooks. You're gonna hear that name a lot, especially from a lot of us who are from Charlottesville that played. Coach Brooks saw something in everybody. He had no favorites. He gave everybody opportunity. So back in the day when I grew up in Charlottesville, a lot of the girls that y'all or women that y'all may meet, they may have played underneath of him that didn't play in high school, but he saw something in everybody. And so I take some of his characteristics in coaching. I ain't gonna speak a whole lot on that, but I think it was him.
What did it mean? You said you were from Fluvanna, but what did it mean to transition to Charlottesville City Schools and become a part of that basketball culture?
Well, that was my first experience, so it was I just meshed in because my first school that I went to, I ended up going to Albemarle School. So my mom would bounce around. So when I went to Walker, it was just it was different. It was different. It's crazy because you know, when I went to Kale, it was Kale, now it's Mountain View, I think. So just crossing over like the street to go to walk, it's just really different.
Yeah.
And so it's a different breed.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just a different breed. So you got to learn quick. You got to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
You got to know, like, you got to be tough. The girls, my teammates, my sisters were tough on me. So on tough of everybody, we held everybody accountable. So if you won't mentally strong, then you won't be able to make it.
Right.
So yeah.
Did you play a lot of AAU?
Yeah, I played AAU. I was like this tall. My
hair
was I was this tall. My hair was everywhere because I used to, when my mom used to put my hair up, I used to hate it. I hated having my hair up. But now I like having my hair up. But I was the shortest one on the team. So
yeah, I know that. I'm short too.
Point guard.
Point guard.
Yeah, I was the shortest one on the team. But yeah, the point guard mentality.
So you did play AAU and you played with what, Mountain Zion?
Played with Mount Zion, Lady Cavaliers since 12 and under.
What does sisterhood give you that still shapes you and how you build her sports today?
The importance of sisterhood is more the importance of community, the support. Like, you're going to fight, you're going to have disagreements with your sisters. You may not talk to your sisters, but the importance of the sisterhood is that you always have that support when you may never know that you need it. And if it's a real sisterhood, they will always be there, So that's what I try to teach the girls. Even any girl that I, come across, or even young boys that I work with, it's just like, you always need that community of support. You always need, whether it's a brotherhood or sisterhood, because your peers, some of them can be safe haven, some of them you can learn from, some of you got to distance yourself, but you have to have that. You have to have that social group. You have to have that social interaction to hold you accountable, right? And so all my sisters from different age groups, like, they can tell you how it is. You either accept it or not. Some just chill, so it's the variety of personalities is very important. That's what I teach. That's what I teach the girls, one of the aspects, so.
When you look back on basketball, was basketball ever in danger of becoming pressure instead of something you enjoyed?
No, not for me.
That's good.
Not for me. Today is a different story, but not for me. Yeah.
Now, at this point in your life, you've became, went from standout player to now a builder of people. What did basketball teach you about preparation?
Expect the unexpected.
Expect the unexpected.
Right. I think looking now, people, the kids say D1 or nothing. Right. And that was my mentality, because when back in the day, you wanted a scholarship. So, it was easier to get scholarships back in the day. And so you work very, very hard to get that. And so when I tore my ACL, my senior year, I had gone to visit Morgan State. Like, I had a couple of offers. One offer from Morgan State, but it was rejected due to my knee injury. So it's like, where do I go now? Like, I would never have thought, and I would never have thought to go to Mary Baldwin, but I love the game so much. You really got to, if you love the game, if it's a good education, there for you, and the coach constantly is calling you, and you can see, if you can vision yourself changing the program, I took that step of faith to go. I didn't want to go, but I love the game so much. And that was the only college that was wanting to take a chance on me. Right. So I took a chance on them, and the rest is history. Yeah, but it was like, and then I played a different role. Like, in high school, I had a squad every single year. Even in AAU, I had a squad. In college, I had a squad too, but you have to have a coach in the college. Like, it don't matter what division, you have to have a coach to know what to do with it. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't get that college experience. We didn't have like that strength and conditioning, but we had some dogs on our college team. And if we would have had the right direction, if we would have had the right equipment and stuff, we would have did some damage.
Where do you think like the mentality is now? Because you said like, now the mentality for the youth is like D1 or nothing. It's like almost frowned upon if you go to D2, D3, or even start at JUCO. Where do you think that mentality comes from, and how has it changed since, like, we were all growing up? Because like you said, we worked hard. And, even thinking about the AAU scene, it's 2-3 AAU teams when we was growing up, and if you ain't make those teams, you wasn't playing.
It's now, a lot of them.
Everybody got an AAU team.
I'm gonna get me an AAU team.
They can do anything they want. Yeah. So where do you think, like, in teaching with her sports as well, how do you kind of bridge that to make the kids like want to work as hard as possible, but also being okay with like not going D1 and understanding like, hey, maybe D2, D3 or JUCO may be the move for me to either move on up or make my own history?
Yeah, I think it's be transparent. It's very challenging because you got social media, so you got more of the highlights. You know, you even like with college teams, they show you what they get. They get all this gear. You know, so that's appealing to the young athletes' eyes, and they think that even if they're not as talented and good enough, and they have poor work ethic, they still think they can get a D1. Yeah. So I think it's the mentality. I think it's the social media that they continue to see and want, and now the NIL.
I was just about to bring that up.
So it's a lot, but you know, I work. The main focus with H.E.R Sports is developing leaders, and so whether or not they are going to go try to play college with whatever sport, is more of like developing leaders. What's next? Like, what do you want to go to school for? Do you want to go to school for nursing? Do you want to go to school to be a business owner? So I heavily focus on that instead of just the sport aspect. You know, I think people, you know, it is a sports-based development program, but I think people miss the development part, and I think that people miss, you know, the programming that we do provide. You know, because I'm always like, it's just not about basketball. It's just not about flag. Like we do so much other stuff than just the sports, and so I heavily emphasize student athlete. Yeah. You've always got to have it. Like if I would have just really tore my ACL and couldn't do, I didn't have a backup plan. I'm gonna be honest. Like I hated school. I did not like to go to school. I did well in school, but I just didn't like to go to school. So you just have to have a backup plan, a plan B. You have to have a plan B, right? So that's what we teach.
Speaking of mentality, though, what did it take to become like the highest score?
I was going to quit. I'm going to tell you, I was going to quit my senior. I was going to quit my freshman year. I had moments where I was going to quit, and it's going to sound crazy, but so I was going to quit, and my coach, you know, I don't know if y'all believe it, but people come in your dreams.
Yeah,
he came
definitely.
into my.
He talks about it all the time.
He came into my, and he was just yelling at me, and I didn't know what he was yelling. It was about something else, but he was just yelling at me, and I knew why he was yelling at me after I woke up, because I was going to quit. Because we was losing. I never knew how to, like, I never knew what that much of that, like the feeling of losing, until I got to college. Because we won a lot. Like I think we lost, like, I started playing varsity my sophomore year because we had too many lethal weapons on. Like
Black Knights had a good streak of
we just had too much, and I'm like, I tried out, but I'm like, I'm going to be on JV. It was a smart decision to, you know, improve my leadership skills and as a point guard, but going to Mary Baldwin, I got used to losing. Like, it's a whole different ball game. So I started doing my own thing, like working out, being in the gym. I knew what type of player I could be, but I didn't really have to showcase that because I was a distributor. I was the point guard.
Right.
But yeah, I was like, when I had that dream, it was like, yeah, I don't know. That scared me. So.
I want to ask you, since we're on that topic, how did you handle, like, you know, losing and having bad nights and things like that?
Partying. I'm not even on front. We stuck together. Like we played our hardest. Like everybody on our team, we played very hard. But it's like, damn, we need to have some fun. But like I was getting upset, and so I think our teammates was getting upset. It's just we needed an outlet. Yeah. So we was partying, but we got up the next day and we still worked at it. But like, it really taught me that you need to work harder and you need to find other ways to win at this game instead of always thinking that you know, like victory is at your hands. But losing don't feel good, but it's a part of the game. It's a part of life. So it taught me, Mary Baldwin taught me a lot. Yeah. So thinking
about senior night, that final game.
Oh,
what did you see yourself doing after that with the game of basketball?
So I had a vision of playing overseas. I never wanted to play in the league. I always wanted to play overseas because I always wanted to travel. I wanted to experience traveling. I always had in my mind that I would play in Spain or Brazil, places like that. But the best thing about Mary Baldwin is they paid. So it was like a USAA, some type of program where they hand select you some athletes to go play overseas. So I had an opportunity to go over there, I think, for like 2 weeks, and we played in Italy. So we went to Rome, Milan. It was another place that we went. So I experienced playing over there. And it was one of the greatest experiences. So I thought I was going to continue that when I came back. So I had an opportunity. To play. So we played in the semi-pro league, semi-pro game against Maryland when Christy Toller was on there. You can look at the stats. I was terrible. So I didn't have I didn't seize the opportunity. Like when I came back at the end of that year, I did not do anything. I didn't do anything. I didn't know what else to do. So I, started working. I always worked. But when I was out of shape, that court is huge. So I was not prepared. So I had an opportunity and I did not take advantage of it. I thought we didn't even know that we was playing against them. They just said it's an opportunity to try for a semi-pro team. And so we always in the locker room like, we just looked like we didn't come prepared. So some of them, but we got smacked. Smacked, and I looked at I was like, damn, I only had 6 points and I played this long. So it was like my stamina wasn't up. So I always try to tell kids like, seize the opportunity, stay ready. No matter what it looks like, stay ready. So that's because that lesson learned.
All right. Let's talk about like some successes in your personal basketball career. Any memorable moment? Like, what's your most memorable game that you've played? And let's go in high school and in college.
Oh, so I'm gonna start with high school. I was a sophomore. We was in state semifinals. I will never forget. That's when we had Candy, Shanika, Chantel, like Crystal. We was on the run. 28-0. That's the state championship. But I was on the bench. That's why I always say you gotta stay ready. I was on the bench. We was playing against William Fleming. William Fleming is like, they was like, and when we played against William Fleming, we never played against a team like that. But I was on the bench, came off the bench and hit a 3. And it just turned the momentum around. And so I would never forget that game because I had a very good game. And then college, dang, it's a lot of college. I think it was my senior. No, I think it was a game where I scored. It's hard. I don't know. I think it was my senior night because after we did our thing, we won. Me and at the time it was Lindsay. We was the only seniors, and we knew it was over. We was putting our jersey right in the middle. So I think the senior night and after the senior night, we had a party. So
That party,
we had a party.
I like that.
What's your most memorable loss?
I think it was my high school. We was on like a 33-0 run. Was we on 33-0 run? Don't quote me on the numbers because I know people like to go back and look. But we was on a run. Like we had an undefeated season, and we ended up losing against Western to break out. And I think that hurt because we was trying to make it another undefeated season, and our season broke our undefeated record was gone because of Western. Western.
Vendetta, yeah. Well, on a good note, when your jersey was honored and you were inducted at Mary Baldwin Hall of Fame, what did that recognition mean to you? No
matter where you go, you can leave a legacy. And so I left a legacy at Mary Baldwin right across the mountain. And so when Ross, the head coach at that time, did it, I was like, dang, it's like I really did something big that I didn't think that, not that I could do, that I was going to do. Right. Because I never thought as a player to be on that type of level. So, and then now I'm like, what if I transfer? Because I wanted to go to Temple. I wanted to transfer to Temple where Dawn Staley was at. I always wanted to play with Dawn Staley, and she was at Temple. But I didn't have the confidence to do that. And so that's another thing that I teach is just believe in yourself. So
what would your younger self say if she could see the woman you've become today?
She's proud. Yeah, she's proud. It's just a lot of things that, she's proud. You gotta keep going.
Yeah.
So she's proud.
You've had success on the court, but you did not stop at success. You turned around and built a lane for girls. When did H.E.R sports become more than just an idea to you?
So it started when I was coaching the middle school girls basketball team. I had, I'm gonna say it, I had a lot of knuckleheads, and they know it. I had a lot of them, and so after that, and when I seen a drop off of what's next, or who would take time with them, because they, a lot of them was misunderstood, they too needed structure, And so when I realized that they had that structure and they would go around, because I said, if you got a D or F or a missing assignments, you're not playing. You can see them running around, getting their paperwork and stuff and making sure their grades is good. When I started realizing that, and then we went to COVID, that's what my mind was thinking, because after that I started coaching AAU. So that's my second year, third year coaching AAU. And so I was like, these girls need a little bit more. They need like to go on some college tours, just not basketball. They need to like work out. So things was, and I was writing it down. So I didn't have the name at that time. Right. So it was COVID. It was when COVID, and I just like, I need my own organization. And some of the parents was like encouraging me to do my own thing, right. But I wanted to do an organization. I didn't want to just to have an AAU team. I wanted to be more. Yeah. So it just grew from there.
All right, so H.E.R means hustle to earn respect. Why did those words matter to you?
As a female, as a woman, we have to really do a lot more than y'all. Yeah. And so I feel like regardless of people who see you, who don't see you, your hustle, the way you put the grind in, even when it's, tough, rough, lack of support, whatever, you're going to get your respect. Yeah. So I always feel like in order to get somewhere in life, you got to put the hustle in. Yeah. It's just not all about the other type of stuff, the negative stuff. It's like if you put that hustle in, you're going to gain respect. Yeah. So
how do you teach confidence in girls that, don't have any?
Just encouragement. So we have a lot of girls, young girls too, that come in that are scared, but it's like the encouragement, that making them feel safe, making them feel welcome, and then seeing people who look like them, right? And so also building the girls around them to feel encouraged, to uplift them. So our space is always safe. Like if I hear or see anything negative, even through our leagues, then we'll bring it in. Like we had some stuff going on with flag football, and we brought it in. We stopped it. We brought it in. We was like, no, we're not having that. We're not having no poor sportsmanship. So we stop it right when we see it. We don't wait. And so the parents, we inform the parents of everything that we're doing, and so it's like they constantly come back due to feeling safe, and you can see the confidence, right? So
was H.E.R sports always vision to be a multi-sport thing, or was it just
I don't know.
supposed to just be basketball?
I just didn't know where it was going. I just took it as it was coming. So I know y'all, like the H.E.R Sports Day was just like, okay, I'm just going to come up with a day where they can have access, because I was starting to build some forms of relationships, and so I just knew if I can connect with UVA. You had like Kamor, even Morgan from UVA had, but he was on the Redskins, I believe. So just having those connections and using the network to come and make it free to build that confidence, and that's when I realized like the city, we don't really have that. Like it's nothing here. So I really did my research before I do anything. Like I always reach out for partners. Like if I don't know anything about yoga, I'm going to reach out to somebody to see if they can come in. So I'm not trying to do this by myself, and that's why like my relationships and my partnerships is very, very key.
So what did the beginning look like when nobody could see the finished version of H.E.R sports?
I see. I don't think I was worried about it at the beginning, but I think I'm gonna be honest. I think when it was a whole wave of everybody coming up with doing their own thing during COVID, like clothing lines,
podcasts,
it's just so much. And for me, it's like I never support people to get it in return. I just support people because I support people. And then when I realized, all right, the support ain't reciprocating. I'm not asking for money. I'm trying to get you to bring your kids, your girls. Like you don't have to come. Just bring. And I know you got kids, and so it's like I think at the beginning that started playing with my mind. I was like, that's not who I am. So it's been a lot of back and forth mentally, like if they don't support, they don't support. I'm gonna continue to always be who I am. But I'm chill. I stay in my own way. Like I stay in my own way. If you see me, I may be thinking about the next move. I'm always in my head. Yeah. So
where did the idea of the H.E.R Sports Awards, how did that start?
So with the lack of exposure, right? So I think it was more about the community. So you got the first team, all district, you got region. So I think it was more of like coaches, and those type of awards are based off the statistics, which they should. Right. They should. But when I came along with the H.E.R Sports Awards, I wanted the community to be involved. Like and more of like that would be more of exposing to like Orange and to like Fluvanna, Louisa, to be more engaged with the girls' sports. And so if I was thinking that, say for instance, like Harmony Williams, like right now, she's playing at Stab. A lot of people don't know who Harmony Williams is, but if they really research Harmony because the name came up on the platform, they'd be like, oh, not only is she a good ball player, but Harmony is a good player, like a good person. So that was my mind of like just exposing people, exposing the youth and the coaches, as well as male supporters, like, you know, so just trying to bring it all in one. And that started virtually. So it's just
I think I remember that. Yeah.
Continue to, I don't know, I just be getting ideas. I need to slow down. I'm going to slow down.
No. You know, keep going. Keep going. Which early supporters believed in her sports before it had, you know, proof of recognition?
When it comes to supporters, I think it was more of people who actually really saw the vision. And it was like a lot of my family. So I had two parents on my board, right? And people who knew me. Like when I asked y'all to come DJ, y'all come. I just feel like, you know, y'all could have said no. I just think that when you have those relationships and they see it and be like, you know, I fuck with Jazz, I'm gonna go and support. But I really wasn't looking for anybody else. I was just looking to get some kids on the field or in the classroom. But without my family, without Erica, like the beginning, like is because a lot of them did like the hands-on labor.
Right. So speaking of that, what was probably the hardest part of building her sports? What do you think was most difficult? The funding.
The funding, I think, is the funding because you, as a grassroots, you gotta find grants, right? And so we are a sports-based program. Not a lot of people believe in sports-based programs or women in sports, period, at that time. It's growing now, but it's just the funding. And I think now that her sports is like, we got recognized on ESPN. Okay. I got questioned, did you get the Toyota? No, I didn't get the Toyota. So I think people are perceived, like they have this perception like, we're fine. We're not fine. I'm gonna be honest, like we're not. I have to rely on grants every single time I put in a grant. I get declined a lot from grants that I get declined that aligns with our mission. And it's a lot of investing in my money, you know. So it's like I'm working for my mentoring business to put back into my H.E.R sports to give to the community when you don't even get the pay. Like you don't get paid. Right. So I think people got this this misunderstanding that a lot of nonprofits make a lot of money. No, we don't. Yeah. Like if you look at my
for a reason,
like 990 is available. Like it's very hard.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What do you want H.E.R sports to look like when the girls you are teaching now become young adults?
It basically be the mirror of what we're trying to put in. You know, giving back to their community, living that full life, like being who they really want to be. Like, don't be followers. We're not trying to create followers. We're trying to create leaders, innovators, trendsetters. So that's what we really preach, and that's what any kid. You know, I know we talk a lot about H.E.R sports, but I do XtraMile, and so XtraMile is a mentoring business. So we do therapeutic mentoring. That's what we teach the kids to be themselves. Like, it's a lot of following around, a lot of trying to imitate people like that. Just be yourself.
Right. Can you tell me a story about one of the girls who came through H.E.R sports and made you realize, yes, this is exactly why I need to keep going?
So I'm gonna use Nene.
Nene.
And I use Nene because Nene is the perfect example of I think she played basketball to play. Like I don't think she absolutely loved basketball. She just played because of her friends and stuff. But she stuck with it. And so she was a part of our sports committee. And, you know, Nene has a very outspoken personality. I love Nene. And so from seeing her do that, go through the sports committee, and then creating her and her sister had their own advocacy group. Not saying, like, I feel like we were a part of her growth and being who she is, and now she's a marathon runner. I just seeing that and seeing her progression. She's a major story that I use a lot. And then another young lady, Nikita, who I've been working with through my mentoring since she was in third grade, nonverbal. She has autism. and she just getting her involved, getting her exposed to the sports, and seeing her now, she plays on the Metro League. It was the beginning of when just putting some balls, and like she didn't want to do anything, but now she's at the Metro League in Fluvanna, and she's doing well. So it was like a lot of success stories, but those two like stem out because it's a very, very different dynamic.
All right, let's get into the flag football. We mentioned that earlier. Why did you decide to add it to her sports?
It's a sport that's, trending.
Yeah.
And then when they said that it's going to be an Olympic sport, I was like,
yeah, it's time.
let's go.
It's time.
Yeah, it's time. And believe it or not, we have a lot of great flag football players. Well, it was like a mix of Fluvanna, Albemarle, and Charlottesville. It's some talent. But I am going to say we are still trying to launch it this fall, but we can't get coaches. Like the girls are there, but we can't get coaches. And
So y'all hear that?
We need coaches.
we,
you hear that?
we need coaches. There's girls that are ready. Like you can form your own team, but I really want to do the middle school and the high school, being that they can have a field and they can have a coach. So I tried to do that, but it was too late. But I'm working on that now.
Gotcha. Is flag football helping girls who may not see themselves in basketball or traditional girl sports?
Some of them have never played a sport.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, they come out there, I mean, all you're doing is catching and running, right? Mm-hmm. They got to learn the basics of, the footwork and stuff, but catching it, and they got to learn how to pull a flag. But it's a lot of girls that came out there that never played a sport that they see, oh, this is different, and it has opened up a lot of eyes, especially with the parents. They were like, okay, this is something. Because if we was to say tackle, we would never.
Right.
But flag football, it's a lot of interest.
Yeah.
So.
And we spoke on funding, but I want you to let the people out there know, why should they invest in girls sports?
Why not?
Yeah.
Right. I think they see what's going on. Mm-hmm. They see what's going on. Like you got the soccer, the USA women's soccer team making history with the contract signing of their salary, and now the WNBA is making. Yeah. Now you got a Major League Baseball opportunity for girls. Yeah. So women in sports is the best thing to invest in. Like that's where your bang for your buck is going to be getting, because if you see the talent across the board with these women, there's no holding back. So it's the right time. And if you look at statistics, I think they should. Yeah. But it starts at the grassroots. Right. I say it all the time when I go to these conferences. When I went to the business and Women in Business Summit in New York, I was thinking, like, I see all these major companies and stuff like that, but what happens if nobody invest in these grassroots organizations? Then they won't be able to last. Right. I feel like people need to invest in grassroots organizations to build these athletes up, to make sure they have all the tools, financial literacy, mental health, because it's going to get worse. Like, I feel like sports may become a little bit more political, business-like. So it's just like being
especially
prepared.
With this NIL.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Yeah, it's all about political. The players are now running it. It's not the coaches anymore.
Nah.
And it's now the players sitting here saying, well, if you want me, this coach has to be here. Or if you want me, you got to pay this X amount of money. They have more control now than ever.
It's no commitment, though.
It's no commitment. And now that they can dip the next year into that portal and then go play somewhere else, that's. And I could go on a tangent.
But I think it is because now, that's something that I actually had a meeting with shout out to Olivia, and we was talking about some things, but it's just now it's going to be harder for kids to get into college coming from high school. Like, you have to be a top recruit.
Gotta be a dog.
And so it doesn't matter what AAU team you play on, how much money you invest in the AAU team or whatnot, how many teams is made. If you're not a top 50 person, 25%, if you're not on the spotlight, I don't think you're going to get recruited.
Yeah.
It's going to be very hard. Like, if people want to, because people like to go to Virginias, the Dukes and all that, but I think they missed the part of the mid-majors and stuff. Yeah. But it's going to be very tough because they're going to go to the portal first.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it makes it hard because then you got teammates, you're trying to build a team on your college, and you're like, dang, is she coming back next year? And it messes up the whole thing, system. The chemistry.
Yeah.
So it's a dangerous game.
It is.
I ain't trying to be a part of it.
Where do you see her sports in the future? I mean, you guys have been nationally recognized. Do you see it still staying local here in Charlottesville, Fluvanna, or do you see it growing bigger to where, you're in multiple cities? And
Yeah, so
That's the goal.
I like to speak my things in existence, but sometimes I don't like. But I'm gonna say it on here. So this gonna be my last H.E.R Sports Awards, right, for a while, because I just feel it's time to like go a different route, a strategic route, more of recognizing girls and coaches like on a weekly basis. Like it's just a little difference, and in order to build up the recognition, to build up the people, because I want the H.E.R Sports Awards to be more of like an ESPY.
Right.
I want these big names, like I want Allen Iverson, Don. I want people to come here, but you have to have money. So, and you invest more, you put more into these events for the community, and you don't break even. Right. You see what I'm saying? So it's a strategic move, like just going a different way right now, but we're gonna come back bigger and stronger. But for me, when we get a complex, can definitely do a little bit more, but I want to be able to hire and continue to provide like my programming here, but definitely statewide. But I want to go international. I want to go to like a coastal. Every time I go out of the country, they need the need. So like going to Costa Rica or go to Puerto Rico to provide a H.E.R Sports Day for them, like just do stuff with that. So that's where my mind is at for me. But H.E.R Sports is still gonna be local, but people ain't gonna have access to it. Right. They rarely have access to me now. And I'm gonna make it like I feel like the easier you are to be, available, they're not gonna take you serious.
Right.
So I'm trying to get people in positions to take on some of these tasks so I can do, coaching and stuff. But yeah.
Let's get into the Hustle Academy and mental wellness. You do not treat sports and mental health as separate conversations. Why do you keep them intertwined?
I mean, I think I'm a prime example, so nowadays I see that kids have more anxiety. They don't want to perform in front of people. Girls, like, they're worried about their image. And so I keep that because it's a lot of pressure too within the sports now. Back in the day, I use it as an outlet, a therapy. Whatever was going on, whether it was friends, relationships, at home, I'm getting on that court and I'm gonna take it out. It's not like that anymore. So it's more of like the pressure from parents, the community. It's so much pressure on these kids to be the best version of themselves that is scary. And you can see that it's a lot of mental health, like a lot of suicide discussions now. You can see a lot of athletes taking their lives because of the pressure. So I think it's very, very important to provide that fundamental opportunity.
What would a younger version of you, like let's say we'd say young Jessica and put her in today's environment? How would she handle it?
Because it's crazy out here, man.
I think it's crazy. I think if you talk to
Social
a lot of
media,
us old heads, we will be on it. We will be just like the other kids. But I get a lot now that, I wish we had a H.E.R Sports back in the day. And we just used to play, right? So I don't think it was as bad as it is now. But I would be doing the same thing. I'll be busting my tail. I think it would be the same thing because my mind is like, I want to be the best version that you are. But if I had some good guidance, some good leadership, and some truth, like, I think based on your, your size and, your stats and how you outputting, I don't think you can go to, a UConn. I think you can go here or here. Just like, we need more of that realness. Right. And not coming from the parents. The parents are always going to want the best for the kids, and they're going to see,
hype them up.
Oh, my kid is this, and they are scoring, or they're not facilitating. They're not working out, they're not eating healthy, and they're not a D1 athlete off the court, right? So, I think if I would have to have the right crew, to want to go, and be all on social media and all that. So,
why is mental health part of athletic development?
Because if you're not mentally well, you're not going to perform well. Right. So I think you see that now a lot, that, any university or now, even in training, like if you train for that high school education, it talks about mental health. So I think it's important because they see it as a need. depression and, anxiety, substance use.
Yeah.
So it's like now kids got more access to like vaping and there's like so much accessibility to so many things that we didn't have.
Yeah, I think all we had to worry about was just alcohol and weed.
Yeah. But I
Maybe
think
some
back in the day, a
cocaine.
lot of people was just like used to like but these drugs is like, it's really taken away
Back
from
in the day,
fentanyl.
we were scared to get caught.
Real talk
doing
though.
it.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
would
yeah.
do drug tests.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
But, I was scared to, hit a blunt. I was scared to take a sip of
Because
alcohol.
they probably say you're
like,
going to die or something.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
nowadays you
Everything.
do it right in front of you.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
just
right
or
in
come,
front of you.
Vaping,
or
I'm hearing
come
from a lot of-
impaired. Like they'll come impaired,
Yeah.
and that's what's just like. If I did that when I was growing up,
Yeah,
And they
hearing-
would lie right in front of your face. I'm like,
come on.
I had
now.
one person come in my
Especially
practice
the
one
vapes,
time.
man.
Yeah, I said, come here.
Yeah.
And I asked her straight out, and she was looking. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna handle that. I'm not gonna handle it now while you
Right,
like
right.
that, but you gonna get handled
Yeah.
because they think that we're stupid. Well, I know.
Right. We've been there and done that.
Yeah, I know. So you ain't gonna put. Yeah.
Would the speak her mind allow girls to say that they may not feel safe saying anywhere else?
For me as a coach, this is just being transparent. So how I always build a relationship, it takes time to build relationships with these kids. They got to be able to trust you, right? And so when they see that you're neutral, you fair, firm, and consistent, and you have some humor, right? Then they start loosening up, and then they start loosening up to the point where they start talking. Right. But I think it's key for us as mentors or coaches is to build those relationships with the kids and do check-ins. And if they notice they're having a bad day and you go check on them, they may not have had that. So even I try to go to the most standoffish kid, or even the one that is loud and outspoken is like, are you having a good, like, you good? And so when they start knowing that you care, then they start opening up. And so they really start, speaking their mind on, things. And then when you start developing that and telling them how much, they need to continue to speak up, self-advocate, and then that's when things start transpiring. So you got to pour into these kids a lot more. It takes a lot of time for them to actually be themselves and actually I do it as more self-advocacy. So when you speak your mind, you're advocating for yourself.
What would you say that parents normally miss when they notice that their daughters are struggling in sports?
I think they are looking at the performance, right? I think parents look at the performance more than why is she performing like that, or I think they overlook what's really going on behind closed doors with their kids because they're so worried about their kid performing well. They just miss it all, and so kids shell up. You can see how kids be disrespecting their parents, or sideline coaching. I hate sideline coaching, but you can see the dynamic of all right, maybe is it the parent that's making them act like that? Do they want their parent here? And so for me, I look at all of that. For me, with practices, AU, I have closed practices. Don't come because it's a heavy influence. You get a total different kid when the mother or the parent is not around. So. I think it's really just the parents really need to have conversations with the kid.
Right.
It's your child. Stop talking about the sport. They know they had a bad game. For girls, they on that menstrual. It's so many things. So stop just talking about the sport with your kid and just make sure, okay, are you okay? What's going on? Just have regular conversations because you putting them down even more.
Yeah. From a coach perspective, how can a coach challenge an athlete without breaking her confidence?
Just pushing them, just continue to push them. For me, I do that a lot.
Right.
The attitudes and stuff, I don't care. You can get an attitude. If I'm not pushing you, if I know you're not doing, if I see your potential, even in one set, one break, or if you're running fast, when we do sprints and you're out running and then you have a moment when I'm going to push you, right? So when I see that potential or I study your potential and you're not playing up to it, I'm going to push you.
Yeah.
And so I can get pushback, but I'm going to push you. If you don't do it, then, that's on you. It affects playing time. But I just think that, again, it comes with having that coach-player relationship. Yeah. So,
what do you do when sports are causing pain instead of becoming a healthy outlet as it should be?
It's time to give it up.
Yeah.
Like it's time to get up. If you see a kid just struggle, not into it, I think that develops over time. Yeah. It's like you got to have a hard conversation with the parents and them. It's like, I just don't think this is something that they need to continue because they're not having fun.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's the parents. Like, it's like, well, no, my kid is going to play. You're making it worse. But yeah, it's time to have conversation.
What is one sentence every young girl in sports needs to hear when she feels like quitting?
Don't quit. Push through it. Persevere. That's what develops like strength. That's what, like when you persevere, when you push over that limit, you'll see it's fruits of all labor.
Gotcha. I want to get back into her sports day and the awards. I know we talked about it earlier, but what does it mean when a girl gets to try basketball, soccer, lacrosse, boxing, or other sports without the pressure of already being good at it?
They want to do it again.
Yeah.
So the whole purpose of her sports is to expose the girls to new sports. And so I feel like I'll say like 70% of the girls who haven't tried a sport that ends up trying a sport will do it. Right. Like we have a lot of volleyball. They don't play volleyball, but when they come, they give it a try. They want to do it. Mm-hmm. Boxing. So I think it's just the exposure and not feeling pressured. And seeing that they can, and seeing that I can do this, or such and such. She's a UVA player. She said I can do it, so I'm going to do it. So,
what happens when young girls see women athletes, women coaches being celebrated on a real stage? What do you think it does to their confidence?
It boosts it.
Yeah.
It's like I want to be like that one day. Even like us women, when we see women get celebrated, it's like, good job. Like I'm proud of you. I want to be with. I know they probably went through a whole lot to get with. I know they got a lot of no's. They went through hell to get where they at. And so I think when you see somebody on that scale, especially as women, because we're talking about girls, but I want to say it more as women. When we see women on a higher scale and all the shit that we go through, it's like, I know she went through that, so it's going to push me because I could be going through something and then I see something on TV and I'm like, all right, let me keep going.
Yeah, representation is huge. We was talking with Wes about that the other day, as far as with black people as well. When you places like Atlanta, we was talking about where they see black every day. That representation just shows, hey, I can do that.
Have y'all been there?
Yeah.
Invest Fest. Y'all should go there.
Oh, I've heard about it though. Yeah, I've heard about the Invest Fest. Yeah, but just seeing that representation, it just shows I can do that. I can do that. Yeah. You incorporated the tonal walk fit concept into the awards experience. Why was it valuable to combine sports, confidence, fashion, music, and self-expression?
You see it. Like, women love to dress, right? You see it. So when I see stuff like with the WNBA or, the NW, like the soccer league, and you see now that they're doing what the men do, but I'm sorry, like the women be putting on, like they be dressing fresh. And so the same thing men can do, women can do. But I think it's like, your clothing, what you wear is an expression of who you are. I think a lot of women, for me, I like to be chill, but when I go out, I'm going to dress. Yeah. But if I could wear basketball shorts, I fit it. Even if I'm coaching, if I could do it, I would do it. It's just like I like to be chill. I don't like to be too much, but if I have to, I will be. So I think it's just an expression of who you are. So I use the tunnel. Last year, the tunnel fit was more of an expression. It was a surprise of who came out. It was like a lot of Cavaliers that came out and they wore her sports stuff. So and then so it's just more of that, but it's just expression. Yeah, fashion is an expression.
What do you think it's going to take for the AAU scene to have that unity?
I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to get worse. I really think it's going, because I think it's money behind it now.
It is.
It's monetary behind it. And I think it's going to get worse to where it's going to push kids out, right? It's going to push coaches who are doing it for development, but also doing it to get the kids exposed. Right. I think eventually the scene, I don't know, just how it is. Like, it's the referees, you're a ref.
Yeah.
It's like, it's unsafe, right? You got people that want to fight refs. You got refs that's aggressive towards coaches. The kids is fighting. Like, the way things are going, it's not safe. And so it's going to end up, I don't see how long it's going to last, because you're not going to have people that's invested.
AAU is way different now than it was back in the day. And, it comes from, I think, again, I can go on tangent about this, but like, the culture of AAU is not healthy. And of course, you mentioned I'm a ref. I see it on all different levels. I see it at the mom and pop tournaments, but I also see it at the big time tournaments, the state championships, the national tournaments. Like it's getting to a point to where, like you said, people aren't gonna, like, the kids are gonna get pushed out of it. It's gonna become more centered on, parents wanting their kid to be the best kid on whatever team that they're playing for.
Jumping from team to team. Or playing for what I don't get is you're playing for every single AAU team in the area. Yeah.
Instead of just sticking to one. And that's part of commitment. Yeah. That's part of commitment.
Oh, boy, and you're teaching them at a young age to be committed.
Not to be committed, and that's okay to play and jump ship or quit in the middle of one to go play for another. That's not a culture that we should build. I don't know what it is like in other cities. I don't know if Richmond has the same problem. I don't know if
they probably do.
Kentucky has the same problem, Texas has the same problem, but like, I can speak locally. We have a problem.
Yeah. No, it's a huge problem, but I think, again, it stems from the parents, but it also stems from people, like the coach. Like, we know what it is, but then you're going to go make another team. Like, it's just like, y'all just want to make it for ego, or y'all want to make it for, like, we're the best in Charles, we're the best in Almar. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is an AAU championship? What is that going to do for the kid?
It doesn't do nothing.
It's more of like the representation of who you are as a coach. Like, I won this. Who cares? I'm doing it for the kids, right? And so these AAU tournaments are expensive. To get in is expensive.
$50 for 1 day per person.
It's expensive. It is expensive, right?
3-day tournament. You paying $150 just for yourself.
It's expensive, and it's taking the fun. It's like it's just taking away the purpose. And then you got the EYBL. Everybody want to be on the EYBL to get these shoes, or everybody want to be on the Puma and all that. Like, it is for monetary, for deals. Everybody's doing it all the wrong way. Charlottesville is out of hand with all these AAU teams. Some of y'all shouldn't even be having AAU teams. I said it because it's like, it's not fair. Y'all are pulling these kids away, and then they come on the high school teams and they have no chemistry.
And that's another thing that is hurting, the basketball culture, is when, you have all these AAU teams in the middle school or early or late elementary age groups. But then, what are these coaches teaching them to prepare them for high school? When I coach AAU, my mission was to prepare you for the next level.
Yep.
I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be a high school coach, but I'm going to prepare you, because I know, like, from my story in basketball, I didn't play high school basketball. I got cut off 4 years. I loved the sport so much that as soon as I graduated, I went to coaching.
Okay.
But then I also, like, understood why I didn't make the high school team. I couldn't understand a play to save my life.
Yeah.
I could not grasp the concept of timing and getting to where I need to be and looking for the next person, I could not grasp that concept at all. And that's what, ultimately landed me not making a high school team. So when I started coaching, I was like, hey, y'all got to understand these plays. You got to understand this philosophy. You got to understand, like, where you need to be, because when you get to that next level, if you can't do this, you're not going to play, or you're not going to make it.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like my philosophy in teaching, because, like, nobody, I see it now, like, a lot of these AAU teams, they're not teaching. I have yet to see a very well-oiled offense ran in the AAU game.
And you got to understand, too, with it's the lack of facilities. So, with the range of all these organizations, and the gyms, it's a lack. So I know I coach AAU, I couldn't but we only had like 3 to 4 hours, because we did 2 days a week, and so it's like an investment in that. So nowadays, if you plan on a team that, are traveling, you really have to understand the IQ. You got to understand the timing. And so, at the 8th grade level, it's like you start to see who understands, who has our IQ, and so it becomes a different type of coaching, right? Yeah. But I think now kids are just so used to just going out and playing and not being coachable. Yeah. Right? And just like, well, we're gonna do what we're gonna do, or it's my time, I'm just gonna go and drive and shoot. The coach don't know what they're saying. It's like they're questioning the coaching. Yeah. And so it makes it so hard too on the AAU level, is because everybody knows what they're talking about. Yeah. Right. And that's the players. Everybody, it's like, it's so hard. And plus we're bringing from different schools, right? So it's just because it's so much. But yeah, the AAU scene is not how that's how we won states. We played together since we was young.
Yeah.
That's why Charlottesville was so good, because we played together. We had some people from, St. Anne's, and we had people from Fluvanna. Like, we had that, but that's why we were so good, because we all played, and we had 3 different levels. So I played, when I started 12 and under, then you had like the 14 and under, and then the 16. I don't know. It was like different age. But Charlottesville, like Tanisha's and, Nikia's and Christina's, Mary Crenshaw, like, it was all the way down to level. And then when everybody started doing different AAUs, you can just start seeing the drop off. Yeah. Right? That it's like the unity now in high school is not there.
It's not. I don't even see like high school run very well.
It's not, because look at Weston, because they play together. Now they have they play together, and that is what people should be doing. Yeah. That's if you really want to build a state championship level team, then you're gonna put you're gonna put them together, right? Yeah, you're gonna have people that play like on the Thunder or what is, but if you want to win, even the kids that need development, they need to go on. Yeah. So.
All right. Fluvanna County has announced you as the head coach of the girls basketball program. I'm so excited. What made this the right time to step into a head coach role here at Fluvanna?
I pray.
Yeah.
So I'm heavily like, God is my man. Like, I pray before this to make sure, but I just prayed. And so it was an opportunity that I could have put in a while ago, but I wasn't ready. Right. But I think now I used to be so focused on doing for the others, doing for the community, just being available all the time. It's like, I miss coaching, right? I am still going to do my thing with her sports. Like, that was a non-negotiable.
Right.
But I just love coaching. I love being on the court. Like, I'm strategizing, like now having your whole program, like varsity, JV, middle, is like, okay, you can go in and rebuild. I want to say rebuild. And plus, I'm from Fluvanna, so like I was telling y'all, I'm the only person out of my family that is a Black Knight. Like, I'm gonna like Black Knights, but everybody else graduated Fluvanna. My grandma, my mother, everybody. My grandma, my mom, and my aunt, they play basketball. So it goes a lot more deeper of why I chose to be, or I put my name in a hat. It took a while. Yeah. But when I did, I was like, I'm just not making a commitment to the coaching program. I'm making a commitment to my family, to the community. Like my Carter Shepherds, they all in Fluvanna, right? And my great-great-grandma, it's a lot of history that they encounter with a lot of crazy stuff, like the racism and all that. So it goes back, and I took a leadership class, and when I seen her name in one of the books, my grandma's recipes and stuff, I was like, it's time for me to do something.
Well, congratulations for that.
Thank you.
Sure. How will your experience as a player, counselor, nonprofit founder, and a community leader shape your coaching style?
I don't know. It's like your experience is, it's basically when you do all this, like it's a representation of who you are, how you coach. And when I say all my coaches, Coach Brooks, Coach Terrell, they yellers, and I know I yell. Yeah. So I'm working on not doing. It's like that's what we grew up like yelling. Yeah. I'm not gonna throw no throwing the clipboards. You can't do that stuff right now.
I can't do that no more.
I can't do it no more.
But I think that taught me, the passion. Like you see the greatness in some kid, and like it's just like frustrating. And I seen like that's what some of their frustrations. Like I know you can do better, but they did it through yelling. So I think it's just more of taking everything from the counseling, what I put into the kids. I got to pour into myself now as being a head coach in Fluvanna, having patience. As going in, as rebuilding, you're gonna disappoint some parents, so you got to be ready to have conversations with the parents. And so I just think it has built me. I'm at the right. It's the right moment. Yeah. It's the right moment to make that commitment. I'm ready to rebuild.
What would be your defensive philosophy? Your man coach or man-to-man coach or a zone coach?
I hate a zone.
I hate a zone too.
Oh my God.
And I ran zone as an AAU coach and realized I was teaching the game all wrong.
It's slow. It slows you down. Like zone, it's like a safety net for me. I'm in your face, man to man, nose on the ball, like full court, like in your face. The girls that we coached this year, I was like up, up, up. They was like, all you do is yell is up, get up. Like, that's what I learned. Like, don't allow them nothings. Like, but like man to man defense, zone if necessary. But I just think man to man, you teaching them a lot.
Yeah,
you teach them help defense, but you develop a whole lot, and you can't teach a lot on defense. Like that's effort, right?
Yeah.
So effort and heart.
Effort
I love
is
defense.
Effort
If
is
you
free.
want that ball, you gotta move your feet. But it's just man to man pressure. A lot of coaches. When I was coaching JV, some of the coaches are still coaching varsity, but in your face, all up on you, smothering.
I think you answered my next question. Are you going to be a full court press all game, or are you going to be half court?
That's for them to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's for them to see. But it's so hard because right now we're in a dead period, right? And so I'm still learning. We have open gyms, so not everybody has been coming. So I'm still learning. I coached a couple of them a couple years ago, so I know how they play. But it's like the personnel. The first year is going to be rebuilding. The first year is going to be them adjusting to my coaching style, and it's more about the characters, like structures, like commitment, like tryouts start on Wednesday. When you go to school, that's when your tryouts start because you're not coming to trials and you got bad grades. So it's like I'm just throwing some shots in there right now and not trying to scare them away, but you ain't coming to practice with no bonnets on. So it's just like getting them used to me, but they know that like defense is going to have to be key for this team because we are rebuilding, right? So it's not like I looked at the rankings. We are 7. Fluvanna is number 7. I haven't been like that since college. But it's a good place. Like the couple of coaches that they said, it's a good place to be at number 7, right? And so it pushes me, it motivates me. And now since then we like, we gonna win, right? Y'all wanna win, y'all want change. And so it's commitment. Like we're starting to see more girls come out, but school is starting and it's always somebody that comes to the school that just shocks you.
Yeah.
But Fluvanna has a lot of talented girls. You just gotta have the right person to lead them.
Any game on the schedule or any rivalry game that you're looking forward to?
I just can't wait. I'm excited. I'm super excited.
Because the high schools around here, like it's all rivalries. Is there anyone in particular that you're like, I just want to, or a coach that you look forward to coaching against?
Ooh. No, not no coaches. I love I have a respect for all the coaches, but I just think. It has to be CHS. And I said, like when I knew I was a coach, I was practicing. We was practicing at CHS, and when I found out I was a coach, I was like about to cry. I ain't gonna lie. It's like because
full circle moment, man.
You always like people is like you bleed what you went to school for. Like you bleed orange and black, But I feel like a lot of people know. A lot of people that I've coached, they know where I want to do. Like now I'm getting like, are you coaching college? I haven't even started coaching. I haven't had an opportunity.
I was actually about to ask that. I was about to be like, where do you go?
I need to see, like I always want to have the ability to like strategize and do this because you're always going to develop, but I've always worked with kids where you had to develop, right? I'm going to teach the game. And we're going to still have to teach the game, but it's gonna be CHS. It's gonna be a CHS because that's where I play, right? And so it's gonna be CHS. I love some Jim. I love some Andy. It's a lot of like personal relationships, but it's just going back to your high school and just this is what made me, but this is what I'm bringing in. So CHS and Weston.
In Weston, okay.
And it's everybody. Like, you got Alma, some of the girls I coach on Alma, but it's just like I think it's more of just turning the program around. I'm just excited. Like the first game we played Eastern View, I think. So we played them, but I just want to see we're gonna be all right.
Be all right.
Now, what's your most successful coaching story in AAU? Since that's the extent of your coaching career, right? AAU.
Yeah. Well, I coached a little bit in college.
Okay.
Yeah, I went back to Mary Baldwin to coach a season, and I left when the other coach, Ross James, he ended up leaving. But yeah, I coached a season during COVID.
Wow. That was recent. Okay.
Yeah, during COVID, so I coached during COVID. But AAU was just recently. So we played at Atlantic Ocean City, and we played back-to-back. It was Delaware Shooting Stars, and the refs cheated. I'm sorry. The refs cheated. It was, but we ain't gonna blame it on the refs. We should have done little things, but we lost to the team first. Like, it was neck to neck. We could have won. And then we came back and we played the same team. We knew it was going to be a challenge. And you know how AAU is, you play a lot of games, but we came back and it was another rough season. Like, they had a girl that would play football. Like, and then they had a girl that could run up and down. It was like a real intense game. And I would never forget one of the players hit a buzzer beater. And we won. So we won in Ocean City. Let me keep saying Ocean City. And so that was a good tournament. It gave the girls some confidence.
Do you have any buzzer beaters in your
I don't know.
career book?
I don't know. I mean, I think I hit some things on free throw line, but I don't think I had a buzzer beater. I may be wrong, but I don't know. It's so hard to tell. But I know I won a game from the free throw line and stuff like that in college, but no, that is in high school.
Oh.
Any text received?
Yeah. A text received. So the crazy thing is, my senior year in college, I got ejected.
Oh,
wow.
My last game.
Dang.
Yes, I got ejected.
What'd you do,
Meredith, who was we playing? It was a team that we had beat. They was like the number 1 seed, and we beat them. And then we went down to play. It was like for the tournament, the championship and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, I got 5 fouls the first half.
Wow.
And some of them they was plotting against me. The coach was on the sideline. And I got so mad, and I just threw the ball down. I mean, I was fouled out, but I'm like, how can I get 5 fouls in the half? And I didn't even touch it. I could just be moving my feet, and they call it, and I slammed the ball. Kids don't do that. I'm just telling my story. And I got ejected. And you want to know what? I ended up playing in the All-Star game and played with her, and she kept me in the game the whole time. So I knew it was like they had the whole. I would never forget that referee. I know his face. I probably won't see him in the high school field, but I know his. I know what he looks like.
She looking for you.
I would say, you remember me. A lot of referees remember me, but
hopefully for good things.
they know I'm passionate.
Yeah. A lot of players that go on, especially to coaching, they're passionate about the game. You know, or
that's a challenge.
Yeah.
I keep saying I'm not gonna be so, because you in Fluvanna, I'm not at Charlottesville, it's like I gotta adjust to that program, which I'm fine, but it's like.
It's gonna be an adjustment.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited.
I gotta calm it down. You know, they know me on the opposite end. So
every home game at least.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now we're at the segment where we give opportunity for our guests to give out any flowers to anybody who's been a mentor, who means something to them in their journey, who maybe showed them a path or something. So this is an opportunity to kind of give your flowers to anybody you feel like deserves them.
Yeah, first I want to give y'all flowers, because y'all been doing y'all thing since I've known y'all, and y'all perspective fields, not just DJing. I don't think they understand what y'all do. So I want to give my flowers to y'all. But my babe, I have to, because she has put up with so much. Yeah. She sees the ins and outs. She sees the stress. She sees the hard work. That's the only person that really sees the behind the scenes. And that's the rider. Like she's my balance. She puts me in my place. She tells me when I'm wrong. She tells me when I'm right. So, and she too has a lot to offer, to her own story. But she's awesome. And then like my family, I love my grandma on my dad. Like my grandma on my dad's side, I look up to her because she had 8 kids. I mean, back in the day when you hear her story, she's very resilient. So seeing her, and she's still living. You know, she's still living, and so I give my props to her. But like my coaching career, I always look like Don Staley is like sometimes you don't have to have people who you see every day, but just from basketball to college and how she represents, how she stands for community. You know, I like Nipsey Hussle, and I'd say that because of his wisdom, not because he's passed, but I used to, you know, I knew of him because when I saw him have a book, I'm like, what kind of books he read? But, you know, and I just think a lot of the women paving the way in Charlottesville. It's so many people to name that you don't want to start naming people.
Yeah.
Because if you forget to name them,
somebody.
then, you know, if you forget to name them, it's a lot of women. It's a lot, and I don't want to start naming because I will forget. But a lot of women in Charlottesville alone, we are doing a lot of great work, right? We're doing a lot of great work, and we definitely need to, you know, honor them a little bit more, you know, and check on the people, right? It's like a lot of us who look like everything is okay, who looks like we're strong, like we're the ones that really need to be checked in, and y'all too, like the men. So. I don't want to sit here and name because I'm going to forget. I just want to name, you know, the babe. I want to name my family. So yeah.
All right, Jess, we're about to close this thing out. The show is called The Wattz Effect, and we end every episode with a question called What's the Lesson?
What's the lesson? Oh, that's cute.
All right.
Crafty.
For the young girl who is thinking about quitting, the parent trying to support her, and the person who wants to build something meaningful in this community, what is the lesson you want to leave them with?
I'm the blueprint.
Yeah.
Like, I don't do anything I have not experienced. I don't talk about things that I don't know. I'm educated more so of any field that I go. I'm always reading and stuff like that. So I've been that girl that, you know, wanted to quit. You know, and I've had parents that supported me, you know, to push me. And then, you know, more someone who wants to, you know, lead in the community and show. It's all of that. Like, I am the blueprint. So if any of you all feel like that, I'm you know, I'm here. So I just think, like, for me, just it's a lot of things that are not said that has inspired me to be this way, and I am the way I am because of different types of traumas and stuff like that. But don't give up. Like, that's the easy way out. Do not give up. Listen to your parents. Like, if your parents are supporting you, encouraging you, but not pressuring you, it's a difference than support than pressure. You know, take that time and open up, build that relationships with your parents, because you never know if something may happen, right? So build that relationship and, you know, get in the community, find somebody who supports you. If you see an adult, it doesn't matter, it's a male, female, janitor, it doesn't matter. If they're always checking on you, making sure you're okay, that person sees you and, you know, lean into them. So that's it's like lean into your supports. That way you don't feel alone.
Well, Jessica, it's been a pleasure having you here. I thank you so much for coming, and I'm so inspired by your story and what you've created with H.E.R Sports, you know, showing young females what they can become and giving them that safe space. So thank you for coming through.
Thank you. Y'all, please go purchase some tickets for the H.E.R Sports Wars.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Speaking
of that,
Can you tell us
plug
what
that,
date
please.
Yeah, yes. So August 29th, H.E.R Sports Day. It is when the UVA game is going. It's like 3:30, and then they have now. I know they have something downtown, but purchase the tickets. The tickets really help us with the cost of things. But it's just like come see the winners. Come, you know, just come be a part of the environment. I think that we do a really good job of just being creative with it. It's just not a boring, you know, award show like we call the winners. Like, it's just come be a part, come see it, like come support, come support. So that's all I'm asking, support, because this will be the last one for a while. So, you know,
make sure y'all come out. I'm gonna be there.
Gotta be there.
We're gonna be there.
Tap in.
All right, Jessica, thank you for coming through. This is The Wattz Effect. I am your host, DJ Reggie Wattz.
And I'm Coach Jess, Coach Carter.
And I'm DJ W. Until next time.
And we'll see you on the dance floor. Watts out, baby.